Hi everyone, this is Janelle Odishoo, the co-founder of AnnounceMyMove LLC. Really excited. We're going to be doing an orientation on AnnounceMyListing today. I want to go back in and show you before we get started with AnnounceMyListing, just as a quick reminder as to how to get into your AnnounceMyMove brokerage account. So right now I am at you'll follow my mouse here up at the top. I am at AnnounceMyMove.com/IPRE. From here, you're going to see the Illustrated Properties logo. Come on over here to Member Login. Your username, if you recall, is your Regional MLS of Florida user ID. Oops, hang on one second. Cancel. It's your user ID. And then your password is everything before the @ sign in your email address. And it is case sensitive, which you'll see here. There's a little explanation that says everything in lowercase. So your RMLSFL ID, and then your password is everything before the @ sign in the email address that they have on file for Regional MLS. Now, if you're one of those agents who is not a part of Regional MLS of Florida, we will have given you a username and a password when we set up your account manually, okay? So just refer back to an email perhaps that you received either through Debbie or Lisa at your corporate office or through help@AnnounceMyMove.com, okay? And we'll be able to get you logged into your AnnounceMyMove brokerage account. Now, I'm actually logged into one of your agents' accounts, Dominique Brown and Chris Tomasi. They've got a team account here. So I've logged in under them, and I'm going to use their account as an example for the AnnounceMyListing orientation today. Okay, now AnnounceMyListing, if you recall, we've got 3 platforms: AnnounceMyNews, AnnounceMyListing, and then the Create from Scratch program. So we've already oriented you on AnnounceMyNews, which is the corporate marketing announcements that have been created for you. Okay, and then this is AnnounceMyListing, where we take listing data from your MLS and we auto-generate both an agent and a client version of your listing announcement. So I'm going to show you how to do that. One thing I want to stop and pause real quickly is that as you log into your account, I want to make sure that you go to the Edit My Information section and click on that. This has been updated since perhaps the last time you've been in here. And so you're going to see your company logo, which is an uneditable field. We are pulling the proper logo for your particular brand because you may or may not be using Illustrated Properties. Maybe you're one of the other brands. And so we've already populated your company logo. You can add in your an additional image, whether it's a team photo or an individual photo. And then as you scroll down, you'll see that you'll want to make sure that we've got your correct website URL. The email address is the one where you logged in, okay, and it also should be matching your MLS email address, okay, that they have on file for you. And then we've added some URLs. So if you want to put in your Facebook URL for your personal profile or your business page, your LinkedIn public URL, Twitter, YouTube channel, blog page, and we'll display these buttons on your banner going forward. And then as you scroll down, you can add your display name, and you'll see they're in a team. So they put in both of their names because this is a team. We've got your office address is uneditable. That's coming over in the data feed to us. And then you can personalize the way you want your phone numbers displayed. Okay, you scroll down a little bit further, and we've got a variety of different association logos, all the most commonly used ones through the various designations, so like Certified Distressed Property Expert, for example, or the Green Designation, or ABR, or CRS, or Short Sale Certification. So click on through the ones that are the most appropriate for you, and we'll display those in the banner as well. So once you get everything looking the way you want, go ahead and click on Update My Information at the very bottom, and then we are no longer going to sync this with your MLS. So we will not overwrite the changes that you've made here, in other words, okay? We still will be syncing property data, just not your contact information, photo, logo, etc. Okay? All right, so let's get back into your landing page here. Now you're going to see that up here in this green box up at the top, this green area, you're going to see IPRE orientation videos. This is where this orientation video and others will be located, so you can refer back to the other trainings that we've done. There's a tips and tools section. What I'd like you to do is take an opportunity to read tip number 19. This is the script for when you're sitting at that kitchen table and you're talking to your seller. And it's like, how do I tell them about what Announce My Listing is, how they participate in the process in sharing listing information through their social network, because their social network is a really important part of this process. Having an agent sharing listings through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter only goes so far. We need to get your seller involved and have them share this listing information out through their network, wherever that conversation is happening. Maybe your seller is on Facebook, or maybe they're just communicating with friends and family through email. This tool will do both of those, okay? But having a personal private announcement for them with their personal information, their not personal information, but their personal letter to their friends and family asking them to share this with their contacts is a great way to leverage social media, and is a very underutilized opportunity that most realtors are just not doing around the country. And so we want to provide you with a tool that does that. So read tip number 19. That will help you when you're talking to your client about what Announce My Listing is and how to get them involved in the process. Okay. Now, also what you're going to see up here is webinar training in our social media training center. If you click over to the webinar training, it's going to take you to my calendar where I teach Announce My Listing orientation every week. They're typically on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock Pacific, which is 1 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to hop on to a live webinar with me rather than this recorded one, you have an opportunity to do that every week. And then as you scroll down, you'll see other classes that I teach. And I'm going to point out this Beyond the Basics. There are going to be components to this orientation that I'm going to allude to a Beyond the Basics class. And so every Thursday, I do a Beyond the Basics. This takes our text editor and gives you an opportunity to learn how to use some of our advanced features in a text editor, okay? So when we get to that, I'll mention that, but this is where you would sign up for that orientation, okay? I do that one live. And then I teach a basic and an advanced Facebook class every month. This is the one I'm going to be doing out in your area November 3rd and 4th, 2011. So if you're hearing this, video after those dates, and you weren't available to be there in my live training, just know that each month I do the basic and advanced webinars via not live in your classroom, but on a webinar. Okay, so you're welcome to hop on at any time with me and get that training. All right, so let's scoot on back. And I'm going to come back over to the home page, which is just our landing page. Now you're going to see all of your listing announcements located right here in this area. And now we've already created a client version and an agent version for you, which you can preview. But you're going to want to come in here and edit it. Although 90% of the work is done for you, you may want to pick a different custom color template that we've created for illustrated properties, or you might want to change the banner to reflect open house or just listed or for sale, and maybe take a look at the property comments in the letter and maybe make your own personal custom version. Okay, so I'm going to click on edit and take you into this this live announcement that Chris is so generously letting me work on for her. So now I've come into this Create Announcement Wizard. This is a little questionnaire that as you walk through, it makes the edits on the page, okay? So if I were to just kind of point out a few things here, the things in red are probably the things that you need to pay most attention to. We kind of call them out because they're in red there. This page, we're just simply nicknaming the announcement. We've nicknamed it based on the street address. If you want to change the nickname, it's up to you. This is how you're going to find it in your reports. Okay, so we just do it based on the street address. You can go ahead and click on next. And then you've got several template options to choose from. We've added a few of them here. So if you have gone through the original training, you'll see some changes here. Now we have just listed, for sale, for rent, and for lease, but we've added open house, new price, and one that has a custom banner. So you can say anything you want to say up to 30 characters, and that will appear at the very top. And as you scroll down, you'll see a few different color templates. We may be adding some more over time. So if you are watching this video and it's a little outdated, we may have just added some additional color templates for you, okay? And you just click on the little button here and it will choose which one you'd like. When you click next, we're gonna save your changes. And you're going to notice over here on this left-hand side, there's a preview button for client version and agent version. So if you want to see what this particular color template looks like, go ahead and preview it, and then you can make your edits if you'd like maybe to try a different template. All right, now the next section is price and title lines. Now we're going to show the price unless you tell us to hide it. Now what's happening in the data feed is the data is syncing with your MLS system every 3 hours. So let's pretend your seller sent this announcement out to 500 of their email and Facebook friends, and then a week later you've had a price change. The next time that announcement is viewed, it will reflect the current price on it, because the data feed is keeping that page current and refreshed with your MLS information. Now you also have some title lines. These are optional. If you'd like to add some additional text that will appear directly below the price, this is where you can do that, and you can do it up to 25 characters for each line. So Chris and Dominique have chosen to do decorated furnished home, call for an appointment. Now the property comments are going to come over in a standard format. You're going to see here that I've already done some edits to this. The property comments are coming over from the MLS system, and it's in your public property remarks, okay, public remarks. Now in your MLS system, you may have entered everything in capital letters or have had put abbreviations in there. So the data feed's going to come over exactly as you've entered it into the MLS system. Now we know that the MLS system, you have a limited number of characters. There's no limitation here. This is a web-based announcement that will extend down and down and down. You can write as much content here as you'd like. So if you'd like to take those abbreviations and expand those out, this is your chance to do that, okay? You can also use our text editor to bold, change the font, increase the size of it, do everything you would regularly do on a Word document or a word processor, okay? So you'll notice here, I just simply took what Chris and Dominique put in here, and I centered it, I bolded it, I did it italicized, I picked Georgia because I happen to like that font, and you want to make sure that it's big enough so that it's easy to read, whether that's 14 or perhaps even 16, okay? So, for example, I'm just going to make a few little edits on this page real fast, okay? Now, when you're making these edits, just understand it's as simple as any other text editor. But when you click Next, come over here then and preview it and see how it looks on the page. More and more people are using mobile devices to check email and check their Facebook and social media sites. So we want to make sure this is easy to read. So I think that either 14 at a minimum is the smallest amount of font size that you should use. Make sure you bold it so it's easier. You know, not everyone's eyes are young. And so those smartphones and mobile devices are sometimes pretty small. So we want to make sure it's easy to read. Okay. Now you're going to notice here that I've actually added an interactive map down below. This is one of those advanced features that I mentioned before about our text editor. Our text editor is essentially a way for you to interact and create a web-based announcement, a web page. Now, most of the agents on this that are listening in here are not going to know much about HTML or creating a web page. And you don't need to know anything like that for our text editor. Simply use it to format the text. For those of you who are ready to kind of take this to the next level and understand a little bit more advanced features of our text editor, I do an advanced class every Thursday. I pointed that out in the beginning of this call, where you can schedule a time to hop on a call with me on those Thursdays. It's called Beyond the Basics. Just to give you a little flavor of what this text editor can do, this button right here is a source button. When I click it, it converts everything into HTML. And so I simply cut and pasted a Google map, an iframe or an embed code of a Google map. And then that's why the map is now appearing on the page. I'm going to show you the preview version here in just a second. You can also do the same thing with YouTube videos, where you can take the embed code and pop in the video so it'll run right on the page. You can embed your photo bucket JPEG images. You can add hyperlinks to this text. You can do quite a few things. So if you're interested in learning more about that, hop onto my Beyond the Basics and we'll go through it live for you. Okay? Now, after you've made the edits on the property remarks, we are no longer going to sync it with your MLS system. If you'd like to reset to the original MLS property remarks, you simply click here and we will sync it automatically for you. Okay, let me go ahead and preview this client version. I'm just going to go ahead and click next to save those changes. Let's take a look at how it's looking so far. Okay, so we've chosen this particular color template with illustrated properties. You've got all of your information over here on the right-hand side that's pulling from the Edit My Information. We've got the photos coming over from the MLS, offered at and the price. There's your extra title lines. We've automatically put in the address so that there's an update address book and a view map. And then here is that text editor where we've embedded that Google map. Okay. Now the next section is the client version. Now we write a letter for you. We think this letter sounds great. However, you may want to change this so that it really sounds like it came from your seller. And it's important that you do that. We want, although the verbiage we used we think sounds good, we want to make sure this sounds like it's really coming from your seller to their friends. So in other words, when you see this, go ahead and make the edits to the page and then decide whether or not you want to allow your client to edit the letter or lock the text so they can't. I find that about 90% of my agents will say, no, this is what I want my seller to say, and I'm going to lock the text so they can't make any edits to it. Okay? So we write, hey, everyone, we just listed this house, or we just listed our home. If you know someone who may be interested in buying our house, please have them contact my agent. I'm going to suggest that you format this so that maybe you say a little something about the house. Make sure you put in your information, contact my agents, Dominique or Chris. Okay, let's put agents, Dominique or Chris at Illustrated Properties. Feel free to pass this announcement on to anyone you think may be interested. Thanks for your help. And then add in your seller's signature line, their name. Okay? Again, when you're formatting this text, I suggest that you bold it, italicize, and make sure the font is easy to read on the page. Okay, and find a font that you like best. Now I'm going to go ahead and lock this text so that the seller can't make any changes to it, and go ahead and click on next. Now when you get ready to send this to your client, you put in your client's email address here. I would suggest that you hide the email address on this type of announcement, and that's what this little Q over here in red says. We want all of the leads to come to you, not for people to be emailing their friend, your client, your seller. Okay? So hide the email address. Go ahead and put in your client's email address. They may have more than one. Maybe this is a husband and wife, or they have a personal email address and a business email address. So go ahead and put those in here. Now, we're going to send your seller our homeowner interface where they can interact with our site, see what you've created for them, and they can send it off to their friends and share it on their social media sites. If you are using Outlook, you simply click next, and that's what this is telling you over here on the right-hand side. Click next, and we're going to open up your Outlook right in front of you on your screen, and we've created a letter for you, which we're going to put into an email. You can format that letter, rewrite it, whatever you'd like it to say, but we've created that for you, and you can send it directly through your Outlook system. If you are using a web-based email system, which I think probably the majority of you may be doing that, there's a box right here that says, are you using webmail such as Gmail or Outlook Web? This may be AOL, excuse me, SBC Global, Yahoo, Gmail, etc. Any of those web-based email systems. Go ahead and click here. There's that same letter that we wrote for you. Okay, all you have to do is take your mouse, highlight over the words, and copy and paste it. Okay, so you should know how to copy and paste. So copy, I right-clicked on my mouse, I copied it, and then go into your web-based email system and simply paste that letter. Now, if you like what we wrote, you can just leave it as is. Here's what I wrote. I've created a listing announcement for you to share with your friends and family. This social network is very important when trying to sell your home. Your friends may know someone who's looking to buy in your neighborhood and could prefer a potential buyer. So essentially, this letter is just explaining to your seller what you've created for them. Now, if you like what we wrote, you can just leave it as is and add your signature line to it. If you want to write your own letter, that's fine too. The only thing you don't want to change is this link. This link is specific to this seller and this property. Now, this link is going to take your seller into our homeowner interface. This is where they interact with our site, and we let them know your agent has created a personalized online announcement for you to share with your friends and family. In just a few minutes, you'll create your very own personalized web page. Even if you have no computer skills, it's fun and easy to do. Now, they will be able to send this announcement to their friends using their own email system, and they don't have to have any concerns whatsoever about privacy or spam issues. Their privacy is very important to us. We are not collecting your seller's email addresses. We're creating this page for them that they're then going to forward using their email system and share it with whoever they want to share it with. We're not going to have control over that distribution list, nor will we be able to share with you who they sent it to. Okay, they control the distribution, so there's no issue with privacy or spam issues. Now, if they're a social media user, for example, Facebook, we give them instructions on how to share on their social media sites using that share button. And then if they have any questions, your contact information is going to be right here. Now, in this scenario, we locked the text that the seller could not control the message that was written for them. If we'd allowed them to edit the message, there would be one extra step here, which would open up that text editor. They could see the letter that you started for them and they could modify it, okay? But in this case, again, we locked it, so that field isn't there. So when they click Save and Continue, we give them instructions. All they need to do to share on their social media sites is preview their announcement so that they're looking at it out on the page, come up here to the share buttons, click one of them, whichever one that they're on or all. It's going to log them into their Facebook account, for example, and it's going to pull the first image, the banner, and the first little snippet of their personal message and post it onto their wall and onto the news feed of all their friends. Now, the way a share button works, you'll notice here, it gives you some options. You can post it on your wall, onto a friend's wall, into a group, onto your page, or send in a private message. So there's multiple ways in which your seller can distribute this to their contacts. They can make it public for everyone to be able to see, allow just their friends, or be able to customize it. Now, this share function is created through Facebook. Okay, so if you see something is different the next time you go on after you listen to this webinar, it's because the share buttons have been modified. But this is what it is as of today in October 2011. Okay, but that's the way that a share button works. And so this gives your seller the ability to share this information wherever they're having conversations. Okay, whether that's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or others. Now, if they are using email to communicate with friends, then they simply click Save and Continue, and we're going to email them this banner and a hyperlink to their announcement so they can forward it out to their friends using whatever email system they use. Okay? They're not going to upload their email addresses onto our site. Now, the next section is the agent version. So we did the client version. Here's the agent version. Now, we're not going to write a letter for you. This is for you to write your own personal message if you choose to. If you choose not to write a personal message on the page, then we're simply going to display the property comments, okay? But if you'd like to write a little personal message the way Dominique and Chris did, this is a really good example. Hi, everyone. We have this gorgeous home for sale and would like to get the word out. If you or someone you know is looking to buy in Old Palm or this area, please pass this announcement along to them. Your realtors and neighbors, Dominique Brown and Chris Tomasi. Okay, very nice. So again, what they did is they bolded it, italicized, picked Georgia, and I'm going to increase the font just a little bit for them. Go ahead and click Next. Come over here and preview it so you can take a look and see what it looks like on the page. Looks very nice, ladies. Now, when you want to share this on your social media sites, you preview it and come up here. Now you use those share buttons. So for example, if Dominique and Chris are on Facebook, let's say Dominique is the one looking at this. When she clicks share on Facebook, it logs her into her personal account. And you'll see that it looks very similar to the seller, but the difference is it's got the personal message from Dominique and Chris. So that's the difference between the agent version and the seller version, okay? Now, when Dominique wants to share this onto her personal profile, this is how she does that. Even though this share button gives Dominique the ability to share on her page, her business page, this is not the best method, okay? The reason is that if Dominique shares this onto her page, she needs to make sure that she is logged in to her business page and that she's changed her identity to use Facebook as the page. Otherwise, she's posting this as herself. Do you see that right there? So let me back up one more time and do that again. If I'm Dominique and I click share on Facebook, it's logging me into my personal profile and sharing that announcement onto my personal profile, personal news feed and wall. If I want to share it on my business page, if I don't go into Facebook and change my identity and then click the share button, it's actually posting it as myself. So what Dominique really wants to do is log into Facebook. Okay, let me just show you how it works. And this only applies for agents who have a business page, but it's important that you guys understand this, okay? We'll see if Facebook's going to cooperate with me. When you log into Facebook, you need to switch your identity to use Facebook as the page. Then when you use your share buttons, and of course Facebook doesn't want to cooperate right at this second, when you have switched your identity to use Facebook as the page, then come over and click on a share button. It will post it onto your Facebook wall and news feed as the page. Then it will become a part of your followers' news feed, and you'll see the analytics on that page on your wall when you're looking at your insights, and you'll see how many impressions you've gotten, how many interactions. If you don't switch your identity as a business page and then share it, you will not see those analytics, and it has not gone on to the news feed of your followers. Okay? So if you need help with that, please go ahead and contact me. I'll be happy to help you and answer any specific questions you have about that. Now, with regards to the agent version, you may also share this through email, and it works the same way as with your seller. When you click next, we're going to email you this banner and a hyperlink. You're going to find it in your email inbox, and then you're going to simply forward it using whatever contact management system you use. Maybe you're using Outlook or Gmail, or perhaps you're using something like Top Producer or Constant Contact or Sharper Agent. There's a variety of contact management systems out there. Whichever one you're using, that's how you're going to forward out your banner and hyperlink to your contacts. You are not uploading email addresses onto our site for us to blast it out for you. What happens is when we're a third party blasting out email from a source that your contacts are not used to getting emails from, then many of those emails get blocked. So we want it to come through whatever contact management system people are used to receiving emails from you, okay? And we limit it to the banner and hyperlink on purpose. Rather than sending a large HTML image, many of those HTML images get blocked before they get to the inboxes. They're getting blocked at the server level. Or perhaps maybe their filters are such that they receive it, your contacts receive it, but it's got pop-up blockers all over, okay? So everyone's security systems are a little bit different on email, and we found that sending out the banner and hyperlink seems to help fly under the radar a bit, a little bit better than large HTML emails, okay? So again, we do that on purpose, and we think that it gets into their email inboxes better, okay? You're going to notice on here that here's our social media training center. So if you have more questions about how to best use Facebook from a personal basis to a business basis, whether you're a beginner or an advanced user, I teach those classes on a monthly basis. And so that's all. You've got everything that you need. Now you've sent out your client version and your agent version, and you're getting ready to now work on your next listing, okay? So let me go on back to our landing page. Now, I didn't really send this off because this is not my account. This is Dominique Brown and Chris Tomasi's, so they need to finish that up and send it off to their client. Now, where you're going to find your reports, you come in here to this My Reports section, and you will see all of your announcements that you've sent out. Okay, so she sent off this orange hibiscus, marsh landing, and so forth, and we've had several views. It looks like that orange hibiscus she sent off and has had 191 views. This is how many times someone has sent you an email from it or visited your website. So those are all of your listing announcements. Now, when you scroll down here, you're going to see the custom designed announcements. Those are the ones that you've created yourself. That's the next video we're going to do on orientation and how to do your custom create announcements. And then you've got your corporate announcements. These are ones through Announce My News that Lisa or Debbie or Chappie or one of their marketing team has created for you, that you've received in your inbox and you've distributed out through your network with your personal branding on the right-hand side. So those are your corporate announcements, those marketing pieces created by your headquarters, branded with your contact information. So this is where your reports are located. All right, guys, my contact information, I'm going to look up here where it says Contact Us. I want to show you how you can reach out to me. Scroll on down. You'll see Business Development, Announce My Listing, and Corporate Accounts. This is me, Janelle Odishoo. So it's jodishoo@announcemymove.com. Pick up the phone, call me, email me with any of your follow-up questions, okay? I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for listening in, and I'm really looking forward to helping you get the most out of your Announce My Listing, Announce My Move, and Announce My News accounts. Bye-bye.